All right, everybody, thank you for being here. Fantastic. I think everyone can see me and hear me. All systems go. It looks like we're right on time. And it's always fun to watch all the attendees joining. Seems to get a lot of excitement here as we start. So everyone's piling in. Great. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to go ahead and get started. The secret options trading solution that you really need to know about. And I can almost guarantee almost all of you have never seen what you're about to be shown today. So we're not going to be stock picking. We think we have a much better idea, and we're going to show you all about that with a couple live demonstrations. So with that said, we will go ahead and get moving forward. We'll respect your time and get on with the show. But remember, we are speculating like the Duke brothers there and Valentine from the movie Trading Places. So we're trying to make money, but we have to assume risk. That's the whole idea of speculation. So with that said, do take a moment and look at the risk disclosure. It is important. I'll leave that up for just a moment. Most important thing should be noted that all funds committed should be risk capital, and past performance is no guarantee of future results. So we're going to talk about technology experts are using. That's our goal today, something you've never seen, how to diversify among global markets. And we can do strategies for any market condition. We'll have two new solutions we're going to show you. The first is our algo-driven systems trading solution, and then we're going to jump into the options trading portion. That'll be probably the majority of the presentation. So you're going to want to make sure to see that. We're going to show you how easy it is to use technology and automation. We want to end up like this robot here. That's the whole idea. Kind of a carefree experience when trading. No hassle, no worrying, no mistakes, no errors. We want to avoid this guy here who's struggling. So stick around, let's focus together. We'll use our time wisely. We'll jump into those live demonstrations of these new solutions. We'll have a special offer for you, something worth over $32,000. And we'll even show you how to get that for free and at an enormous discount. So you'll want to stick around for that. So remember, markets are always correct. We aren't. It's expensive trying to convince the markets that you are right. Famous market wizard there, Ed Sequoia, said that, and I think we could all agree with that. It's another way of saying don't fight the tape, old ticker tape machine there, if you've never seen one of those. And just trade the environment that you're in. Don't trade on hope, but just trade the environment the market offers you. You don't want to end up like this here. So, all right, a little bit of humor there. Here's the agenda, a little bit about us, 3 trading secrets. We'll talk about algo trading. We'll have a live demo for you of the trading robots. Then we'll talk about options trading, looking at that one thing, that one secret solution you really need. And then we'll have that special offer and FAQs. We always get a ton of questions as we go along, and I'll try to hold those towards the end, although once in a while, if we get a bunch of them all at the same time and all at once, we might try to answer those for you. But anyway, a little bit about us. We are AltaVest. We are a brokerage firm since 1997. And there's some of our staff there on the trading floor years back, not too long ago, maybe 10 years ago. And it looks a lot different now. That's what we're going to talk about, how these machines have taken over. So we've been doing this a long time, ladies and gentlemen, and we're regulated, of course. We're located in California. Some pictures I took years back, not the best, but I think they're still kind of fun to look at. And we've traded millions and millions and millions of contracts over the years, and that's no exaggeration. So we're going to convey what we've learned to you. This mad scientist here all by himself, you don't want to end up like that. Don't try to figure it out by yourself. Use our experience, our decades of input and development from industry veterans into the technology you're about to see. A little bit about myself. I'm Erik Gebhard. Been doing this about almost 30 years now. I have my BS in business administration from the University of Southern California, and have been licensed in this industry for 29 years. I got started way back when. That's my textbook. Yes, it actually is. And those are my notes there, studying futures and options back in school. And I really enjoyed that course, financial instruments. We were looking at the oil fields burning up in Kuwait. Oil doubled in value, gold prices soared. So that was kind of the background at the time when I was learning all about this. So that really, really interested me. After school, I was able to get into the securities industry for a time, but then I found my way back into futures and options, and that's where I have been since. So with that said and the introduction out of the way, let me do this here. Just for the moment, I'm going to turn off that webcam, give you more space on the screen as we move forward, get into the meat and potatoes here, the 3 trading secrets. First of all, day trading. It's not as easy as sometimes the media conveys it as being, and or maybe even people that you know. Everyone's a day trader now, according to the Wall Street Journal, especially with the pandemic here. Everyone, initially at least, was at home doing nothing. Article in Barron's, everyone under 40 is day trading on their phones. And here's this guy here, another 10% day guaranteed. So he's kind of a tongue-in-cheek approach to trading, but on the other hand, it's not that easy because it looks like he lost 4 million on one day as well. So it comes and goes. And just remember, here's someone trading. You don't really want to be like this, I don't think. And you've got your own life to live. And you know what? It's difficult. If you're doing it successfully, more power to you. I'm not trying to dissuade you, but keep in mind, here's a gentleman that used to train traders. So here's over a 5-year period. He said that basically there's only a 3.5 to 4.5% day trading success rate. So very interesting there. Number 2, here's this other best non-kept secret, right? But it's fun to look back and really zero in on what this means. When you're trading stocks or really any instrument, directionally in particular, you have to be perfect with picking the market, the direction, the strategy, your entry timing, and your exit. So you have to do everything correct. It takes a lot of precision. And it turns out that robots can be a lot better than us at doing this, according to an article here in Bloomberg, outwitting humans on their investment picks. And then part of the reason why is it's number 3 here, our emotions. There's a little bit of Maxwell Smart. Some of you might remember that show, Get Smart. So our emotions get in our way: hope, fear, anxiety, fear, boredom, frustration, you name it. I felt it, you felt it. We feel it just about every day, probably when trading or even investing. And so you need to really mitigate that. And we're going to show you how we think you can. We have bad wiring. We have a built-in bias to make poor investment decisions, to basically sell the lows and buy the highs out of fear and greed. So I think we can relate to that. Our brain is killing our returns. That's according to Real Investment Advice. I think that's a fair assessment, fair statement. Motley Fool says there are 3 common biases when making investment decisions. Our worst financial enemy is ourselves: confirmation, anchoring, and recency bias. Here's an example of recency bias. The guy here says his stocks are doing great. What else do I need to know? He's got blinders on, of course. So there, yeah, I think you get the idea, and a little humor there for you. But moving ahead here with the algo trading robots, they are dominating the marketplace, dominating 80% of the stock market. These machines causing sharp drops and rallies. Large institutional firms command 80% of the market, according to a Seeking Alpha article of late. So here's a little fun little graphic for you: revolutionary trading, kind of where we are now. This is where we were. I took this grainy video years ago. Flora, the NYMEX. I think that was energies, metals, some of the softs. So very efficient, very effective, but this is what's happening now. This is the competition we've all got. No emotion. These machines run automatically, built-in risk controls. So knowing that, maybe we should use these algos to our advantage. What's that old phrase? If you can't beat them, let's see if we can join them. So we have a solution for you. We're going to show you in just a second. Automated systems trading, user-friendly for novice or advanced. You can filter for all sorts of risk and reward and performance and type of strategy and market and on and on and on. You can do it in minutes a day. Once again, automated risk and profit controls. And then you just flip that switch, you turn the system on, and you walk away. It's all you have to do. Doesn't matter if the market's moving up or down. Markets in various sectors as well. So we're going to jump into that live demo. You got this test pilot here. We think we've done all that testing for you. We've got a fresh approach we're going to show you here. So if you like what you see, we're going to show you how to take action in just a moment as we get towards the end. So stick around. We'll have some other FAQs. So AV systems, your new robot friends. And AV systems, it's a powerful tool. It can be actually a lot of fun, just like this chap here is having fun trading. And with that said, we're going to show you how to filter all the systems for any criteria that suit you best, for risk, for profit, for capital required, markets traded, sector type, market type, live track record, drawdowns, profit factor, you name it, percentage in the market, percentage out of the market, worst drawdown, best profit, whatever it is. So with that said, better to look at the demo instead of me talking. Let me go ahead and switch over. Okay, let's see here. And I'm double checking the questions. Some of you are having some technical trouble. And yeah, sorry. I mean, some of you had some trouble with the audio or whatnot. It's showing on my end that everything's good, but sorry if some of you are having trouble. All right, we are back on the screen and you are now looking at AV systems. Here's the dashboard. And let me explain this to you. We're going to go through this step by step. We're going to explore the systems, show you how to subscribe, how to activate, and then how to monitor your performance. So it's really that easy. And this will go quickly. I don't want to beat this one to death, but you do need to see this. It's a very powerful tool. So you can see there are 1,800 systems on the platform. And how would you know which one to choose? Well, first of all, this table here can be customized any way you would like. So maybe you're interested in something else other than what the default setting is. So you could change this all around. Click OK. And now you can see these headings reflect that. You can sort in ascending or descending order just by clicking the heading there. So you can see this particular system had the best session of $41,000. That's pretty amazing. And then the other way you can see the best session was $126. So on and so forth. Worst drawdown here, 174 or 279,000. Enormous drawdown there. So large risk, large return on that particular system. But you could go on and on. People like to sort for the return on investment. Some big numbers there, 400% annualized, and then negative 22. So you can see you can sort this any way you want. But let's just go back to default. And here's how you would explore systems. You can use this field here and type in, for example, gold, and you'll see all the systems for gold, or S&P 500, or maybe you're interested in the euro currency. Here's the euro. So on and on and on. You can just filter that way, or this is really the best way. Use these tools here, and here's your quick filters, their default filters. So maybe you want to look at systems that currently have clients trading them and the required capital is less than $5,000. So now you have a universe of 52 systems to choose from, and you could clear that, or you could use your own custom filters. So you want live profit and loss, and you can sort that any way you want. Click OK. Oh, you know what? I didn't do that. I need to add that. And then you can add some more filters here, like maybe the type of system. How about you're interested in day trading systems? So you add that. So there's 673 and so on and so forth. So you can really, really get very granular and drill down and find systems that meet all these criteria, and then you end up with just a universe of systems that suit you best. And we can just add another quick one here. So the worst drawdown was less than $10,000. It has a rating of 2+, and you have 300 to choose from, and so on and so forth. So I won't go and drill down and really get too granular because we have limited time. Now, for example, let me clear all those. And you can also see these stars here, our favorites. So there's a few that I just clicked right before as favorites. And I will show you how this works here. You can just click on any one of these systems. Okay, so this is what they call the basically your historical performance on the system. And I'll run you through this. It's real simple. Looks like a lot of information, and it is, but it's really simple and well laid out. So you'll see the name of the developer, the product. This is a silver contract. And if you're thinking, I've never traded silver, it doesn't matter. The algo does the trading for you. That's the whole point of this. It's a swing trading system. It's $95 a month. It's deducted directly from your account. And all the performance is net of all of the monthly cost and commissions. So every number, every percentage is net. I want to stress that. Everything is net of all cost. Now, you'll see the total profit and loss, your tracked profit and loss, your live profit and loss, worst drawdown, suggested capital, required capital. The suggested capital is also the one number that's used to calculate all the percentages and so forth. So the suggested capital is the number used. You could use a little bit less, for example, 18,200 to trade this, but of course that would increase your leverage and it would make all these numbers quite a bit different, for better or for worse. Now let's look at this. In fact, there we go, sorry about that. So you can see all of the icons here. You click on that little plus button, describes everything to you, everything's explained. Percentage of winning sessions, your best session ever, 18,000, your worst session was 2,519, so on and so forth. This is just one sample, one system, one example, and here is the table that's really important. Every system has this table. You can see where the background is white, that means it is back-tested data. So that's hypothetically back-tested data. And if it turns yellow, that means it's on the AV Systems platform, but there's no live money. And then when it turns green, that means there's live money being traded. So you can see there's live money being traded since July. And if you want to see the trades in July, you just click on that month and you can see what happened here day by day. Everything is completely transparent. There's nothing hidden. So you can see on the first day of the month, the license cost is deducted from the account. Losing trade, losing trade, losing trade, winner, losing, winner, loser, winner, blah, 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 blah. And then by the end of the month, the accumulated P&L was over 16,000, and that was for July. One thing I like to point out, remember March, everyone, well, how do we forget? S&P was down as much as, I think, over 30% at one point in March. But look at this. This is a big selling point, I think, to some of these systems because they have no correlation to the stock market. So this did really, really well in March based on this back-tested data here. You can see over $40,000 gain, and that's one of the reasons we really love these systems. And now also, you can see here the trade log. I talked about granularity and nothing hidden. Here you go. You can see all of the trades day by day. You can even download the data to Excel. We don't need to get too deep into that, but I just want you to know it's available and it's there for you. The session log, so day by day, it tells you here how the trade volume, how many contracts by the end of the day, what was the position, short one, flat, long one, short one, so on and so forth. And it gives you all the P&L and so forth. And we've also found that the hypothetical data is very conservative. It accounts for slippage and trading cost, so that we find that it's a high correlation between real data and the hypothetical data. All right, now that's a good example there, and here's one more. I'll just throw it up for you. We won't spend as much time, but here's a E-mini S&P 500 system. And you can see here it began being tracked in April, and since then it's being traded with live money, doing very well, 145% year to date. Those are some big numbers. Of course, the bigger the returns, the more volatility there will be too. So always keep that in mind. But once again, look at March. Big, big number there in March. As the stock market dropped, this stock index system, this E-mini S&P 500 system, didn't care. In fact, it thrived on that volatility. So a lot of these systems really, really love that volatility. You can see here it's a swing trading system, trading the E-mini S&P 500, $200 a month deducted right up front, comes right out of your account. Now, if you like this system, let me show you how that works. You can do one of two things. There is a padlock here. You can click that, or you can use the padlock here on this page as well. So let's go ahead and see about buying that license. And someone just asked about, actually I've got several questions and I'll answer it while we're talking, but yes, the smaller, you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are systems really to fit just about any budget. But with that said, this is how you would subscribe. One unit is one contract, comes out of your account monthly. You would subscribe. It's just a demo account, so we're not going to do it for real, but I'll walk you through it. You accept all the terms, of course, after reading them. You got to read everything. Now, you've purchased that license. Now you have to activate it. So let's see how we do that. You can immediately activate, or you can try to get in on the next signal at a better price than the current entry price, or just get in on the next entry at all. So you can do any way you choose. Go ahead and accept that disclaimer and then activate. And let's see what happens here, folks. Okay, so it says the strategy is currently long, and the unit will be synced to the open position. So let's find out what that looks like. So there you have it. You just activated it. It's now live. It tells you that you bought one at 33.97 and a half. It's currently trading at 97 and a quarter, so it's down a few bucks here. And that's the way it goes. Now, it will tell you here all the fill prices on the systems you have, any orders. So it has a stop order in place here at 33.28 and 3/4. And of course, you have no performance yet because we just turned it on. But you get the idea. Everything is visible and transparent, and you can essentially see this all at a glance. And now here's the thing people ask, well, what do you do if you want out? Well, first of all, I think you should let the algo take you out, but if you want to, you can just click Stop Strategy, and you can stop it immediately, or basically allow the system to take you out, whether it's a win or a loss, and then no longer trade anymore. And then you would just click Accept and deactivate. So it's that simple, folks. And now let me jump up and show you this. Here is the top 10. You're going to want to see this. So you can look at the top 10 systems performance-wise for the current session. You can see this one here is a NASDAQ up over 6,300 today. The worst top 10, number 10 here is 2,800. Actually, we have quite a few. I think we have some clients in this one here, and this developer seems to focus a lot on these stock indices, which we like. Previous system, looks like silver did well, had some moves that some systems caught. Last month, you've got some NASDAQ systems, DAX, German stock market index, unleaded gas, silver, mid-cap S&P, and so on and so forth. So this is a really great page to look at, and it gives you some ideas sometimes as to what's performing well. You can look at the net result or look at the result as a percentage of the suggested capital. Just has to refresh. Oh, actually, that's right. It doesn't calculate it on the current day. So you can just see here the previous session gives you a percentage, 22%, 9%, just in one day yesterday. So there can be a lot of volatility and a lot of movement with these systems. And, it can really, there can really be some volatile sessions. So keep that in mind, depending on the system, of course. Some are less volatile than others. All right, so there is how the AV Systems platform works. It's a very powerful tool. It's a lot of fun to use, and it provides diversification opportunities. We really love it because these systems don't have any correlation to what's happening in traditional asset classes. And we think that's a great opportunity to help diversify performance. All right, let's take a look here. Let me go ahead and switch over for you, just one moment. And we're going to jump into some options. Excuse the delay. I have to switch screens. I've got several screens. I've got to make sure we're on the right page. But anyway, you don't want to end up like this kid here. Sorry if that's a lot of information quickly, but I think you get the idea of what a powerful tool it is. Clients absolutely love using it. So if you feel like you're drinking from the fire hose, that's okay. And here's what we always hear. I love it. I want to do it, but I'm not sure. I've never traded futures. Well, my answer is who cares? Uh, in terms of the algos do all the work for you. It doesn't really matter if you don't know about the fundamentals of soybeans or crude oil, or you haven't looked at your S&P 500 chart. The algos could care less about any of that. They do all the work for you. They trade in all those markets up or down, and that's all you need really to know about the particular uh, contract or particular market you're trading, is that the algos do the work for you. So once you filter based on the criteria, then really it's up to the algos to do the heavy lifting for you. So metals, energy, stock markets, currencies, absolutely. And why futures? Futures volume is where you want to be, or futures trading. The volume is enormous. First half of this year, almost 22 billion contracts. They're global, they're liquid, they're transparent, there's leverage, diversification. You're easily short or long. They can be, well, they are very cost effective. So here's the meat of the presentation here. We're going to jump into options trades and how technology can help us. Here's the secret options solution that you really need to know. Automated trading, up, down, and non-directional markets. And you're going to love these secret strategies. So we're going to remove the guesswork with options trading, something we can do in minutes a day. And we're going to look at the advantages of trading with the stock index options. So why stock market index versus individual stocks? First of all, it's convenient. We just follow a few indexes, not thousands of other securities. Stock index is less volatile than an individual stock. I could show you a bunch of charts, but we don't need to. I'm sure you get the idea. Look at what happened to stocks. What was it, Kodak a while back, and Tesla? I mean, you name it, you get the idea. And then we have a secret strategy that really is not applicable in stock options. So we're going to show you that. We're going to trade the ES, or the E-mini S&P 500, along with the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000. And the reason why you need to be in this one market, these E-minis, they're liquid, they're efficient, and they're cost effective. And the advantages are tremendous. So we're going to show you in more detail right after the demo. Look at the open interest, almost 3 million on the E-mini S&P 500. So enormous amounts of volume and open interest. Now, we're going to get to some options. If you know about options probabilities, that's fine. This will go really quickly. If you don't, it's super easy, but it's important to follow this here. Insurance companies, we know how they make money. You pay them premiums, they take your premium and they manage that risk. So they're essentially selling time. And they insure themselves by hedging. They are patient and consistent, but they just look at the probabilities. The long-term odds are in their favor if they do their job right. They look at statistics, the math, that's all it is. They're number crunching, expected returns, so on and so forth. Just like casinos, they do the same thing. Every game a casino offers is mathematically in their favor. You bet $100 on that green, spin it 38 times, you're going to lose $200. That's the net result if you do that over and over. Average loss is the house edge. So they're gladly going to let you spin that wheel a million times because they know in the long run they're going to win. It's the law of large numbers, just like flipping a coin, 5 times versus a million times. You can pretty much know what the outcome is. If you do it a million times, it'll be 50-50 heads and tails. So it's just math. And when we're talking about options, we're going to look at higher probability options trading. And let's look at a baseball analogy. Is it more likely to get a grand slam or a base hit? Well, we know the answer. It's a base hit. So we're going to try to apply that to high probability option strategies by selling options, being consistent and patient. We have to manage risk, knowing that we will have losers, and manage reward because we will have losses. You cannot be greedy, but you need the proper tools to make this all happen. You can't just roll out of bed and just magically make this happen. So remember, base hits, we're not swinging for the fences. These are short option strategies. They can be non-directional, bullish or bearish, higher probability outcomes with predetermined risk. We're going to use time on our side. Credit spreads where we collect premiums. Once again, these are insured, predetermined risk and reward, and they may be non-directional, and they have a margin of error. So don't worry about this chart if you don't understand it yet. You will. So here's the S&P 500, and you're trading above and below the market. That's the structure of that trade. So markets can make some moves along the way and will not impact your position. It's called wiggle room or margin of error. So let's look at probabilities real quickly. Look at delta. If you know this, that's fine. It's quick. If you don't, this is simple, but you need to know it. It's the approximate probability of expiring in the money. That's what delta really is used for. And if an option has a delta of 0.25, it means it's a 25% chance of expiring in the money. So what's the converse of that? A 75% chance of expiring worthless. So remember, delta is always moving with price and time, and it is not the probability of a winning trade. So you can't say if the delta is 0.25, I have a 25% chance of making money or vice versa. It doesn't work like that, and we'll explain that in a second. And then there's theta. That's time decay or sensitivity to time. Every option expires. So theta is a negative number, and it equals 1 day of time decay. So if your option's 10 points and theta is negative 0.05, then the next day in this example here, all other things remaining equal, it's now, the option's now 9.95, the next day after that 9.90, and so forth, just because time is eroding. That's what it looks like on a graph. As you approach time zero, getting closer to expiration, the amount of the premium starts to really, really fall. So that's theta decay. So here's an example of selling a call spread. You sell a 35-30 call, that's the red line. You collect 4.5 points. And simultaneously, you buy a 35-50 call, and you pay 2.25. So the net that you pay, that you collect, is 2.25 points, or $112.50 in this example on the E-mini S&P 500. And of course, you'd have to factor in commissions as well. But that's, you sell an out-of-the-money call spread, you collect $112.50 in that example. Do the same thing with puts. Here's the market. You sell a 29.90 put, buy a 29.70 put simultaneously. The net that you collect is $100. And that's what selling a call and a put spread looks like in these examples. These are not naked options. Remember, they're covered. Your maximum risk is predetermined and capped in advance, so you don't want to be naked like these poor little creatures here. All right, so covered options. Here's another advantage, no margin calls. If you're doing naked options or someone tells you to, don't. It will work until it doesn't. And you're also going to have a lot of margin headaches. Trust me, it's been 30 years almost doing this. Ask me how I know. And you do not want margin calls and having to be blown out of positions as they move against you because you're uncovered. Do not take that risk. That's my advice. Here's a strategy, an iron condor. It's non-directional and you collect premium. And what the heck am I talking about? I would show you the chart of a condor, but it's really unnecessary. All you need to know, it's just the put spread and the call spread that we saw. You take the call spread and the put spread, you place those orders simultaneously, you collect premium for selling the call spread and the put spread, the net premium you collect, and you look for the market to stay within that range. And that's just that simple. Now here's a secret strategy you have not seen, and you had a little glimpse of it a minute ago, the dragonfly. Six-legged option spread. A strategy that we created a while back, and it's a variation on a condor. All right, let's take a look. Here's what it looks like. I'm going to dig into this chart. You can see what's going on with calls and puts. Let's leave the puts alone for now. But here's the S&P trading here when you place that spread order. And what did you do here? First of all, you sold 4 of these 3330 calls. And at the same time, you bought 3 of the further out of the money 3380 calls. And then you bought 1 closer to the money 3290 call. So that's the structure of a dragonfly. Now take note, the one that you buy in this case is 40 points closer to the money compared to the 4 that you sold. So that means it's going to hold its value. It won't lose, theta decay won't impact it as much. And as the market in this case moves closer and closer towards it, it's gaining in value at a more rapid rate than these further out of the money options. And remember, you own it. So this is going to gain in value much more rapidly than these further out of the money calls. Same thing with the puts, same structure on the downside. And I'm going to show you in the demo how this all works. But you're thinking, how would I even put that together? You're like Jackie Chan. Where did you start? What to sell? What to buy? What's the price? How do you know the timing? How do you manage the risk and the profits? A lot of questions. So here's the answer. Theta Trader. So these are pre-built credit and debit spreads. The proprietary algo that we created makes theta trades and same strategies that sophisticated traders are using. These are built for you, all market conditions. And then we have automated risk and profit management, something called the risk level indicator, the RTI, color coded, and I'm going to show you how that works. So it's time for the next demo. We're going to show you how to get involved. So let's jump into the Theta Trader demo. Okay, very good. Here we have, you're seeing the screen here. This is the Theta Trader dashboard. And we're going to explain this and run you through this. I'm going to make it really simple. You're going to think, wow, this is what I've been looking for. Now, you'll notice Theta Trades. Here's this section here. And then here's open short positions, open long positions. Here's your account info, all right here. This is just a demo account. And then current price quotes on the stock indexes that we're following. Let's start at the beginning. You'll notice there are bullish strategies that are pre-populated, bearish, and then a neutral. And here's the ES or E-mini S&P 500, the E-mini NASDAQ 100, and the Russell 2000. So these are the stock indices that we're trading. And since we talked about the higher probability trades and the condor and the dragonfly, that's where we're going to start. So let's look at the condor. you can see Theta Trader developed 2 trades for us today. One is a October end of month and one is November end of month, 24 and 55 days till expiration. Let's just pick the November. And you know what I'll do here is, I think you can probably see the screen, but maybe that's a little bit better. I hate it looking at webinars and you can't figure out what the guy or gal is doing. Okay, so first thing I like to do, and just to back up a second, all I did was click the pull down for the iron condor, and then I chose this one here, and then it pulls down all the information on that trade. So let's look at the chart. This is what the graph looks like, selling the call spread, selling the put spread below the market on this particular condor. So I think that gives perspective. Now you'll see the market being traded, 55 days till expiration, settled at 2.6 points, net premium, put risk, call risk, commission, capital, cash required. This is your profit potential, targeted return on cash, and your targeted annualized return. This TAR number is really just to compare one trade to another. So you can see here, this October trade with less time has a much higher TAR. And that makes sense because it's just annualized, but that's not realistic, of course. You can't expect to generate that type of return. It's just there to compare one trade to another. But let's look at what all these numbers mean. When you want to place this trade, the cash required is $891, and your profit potential maximum is $109. So why would you put up $891 to make $109? Well, let's look at the answer. You notice you're selling this 2820 put. The delta is 9.77. That means there's over a 90% probability that this option is going to expire out of the money. Same with the call. You're selling the 3780 call, delta 6.79. So 93% probability that this call is going to expire out of the money. So those are the higher probability outcomes that we're looking for. Now you can see it's pre-populated to sell, and the quantity always defaults to 1. Let's say we're doing 5 of these, and you can see the numbers change. Now it's 4,455, trying to make 545 as your maximum. And you can leave this alone and go ahead and place that order. And it's just that simple. Here's your entry, selling these 5 condors at 2.6, just that easy. Now here is the dragonfly. This is a strategy we really like a lot, and we use it often, every week, absolutely every week. And before we go through the dragonfly, I want to show you we have a trade simulator. And let's look at some examples of a condor. I've loaded these here. And let me squeeze this down so you can see more of the screen. Okay, so here's a condor on February 14. If you placed an iron condor theta trade just right out of the dashboard here and placed it, let's see what would happen. You can go back in time. You can use these buttons to play and watch what happens. So let me just show you what's happening here. We started here with 76 days till expiration. Each day is going by. The trade's starting to turn green or get profitable. The RTI is green, and I'll explain that in just a second. So nothing to do except watch theta decay work. Market's chopping around. And look at this, it turns blue with 2 days left, and Theta Trader says take profits. And this is key, let's pay attention to this. You can automate this so that when Theta Trader turns blue and says take profits, your order is automatically placed. And also, if the risk is too great, Theta Trader will automatically submit that order for you. You do not have to screen watch. That's the key, and I'll show you how that works. But so remember, this was an Iron Condor Theta trade from Valentine's Day of last year. What if you placed a dragonfly instead of a condor on that same day? So here we are, Valentine's Day. Same thing. This is a dragonfly, not a condor. You notice the different trade structure here. You are long this call and you are long this put. Look at this. It turns blue, it turns profitable with over a month of time left. So Theta Trader says it's now profitable enough so that you can close this trade out, take your profits, and move on to something else. And look at the big difference. If you had an iron condor, you had to stay in that trade almost till expiration. But with the dragonfly, it matured much, much more quickly so that you could get out with profits here according to the algo and the RTI, and you can automate this and automatically close that out for a win. So that's the one key component to the dragonfly. And the reason why is because remember, you're long this particular call here in this case, and it's 20 points closer to the money. Now let's look at a couple of others. Here's another iron condor last year, about a year ago. And it turns yellow. Yellow is elevated risk, according to the RTI, but still don't have to do anything. And then it turns red. That's a loss. And once again, if it turns red, you can automate this so that Theta Trader places that order for you and closes the trade out. You take your lumps and you move on. So there's an Iron Condor Theta trade from November 20. So if we did a dragonfly on November 20 instead of a condor, how would that have worked? I want to point out something here. On this particular Theta trade, the dragonfly has a 32.90 call that it bought compared to the 33.30 calls that it sold. So that's a 40-point difference, meaning it's 40 points closer to the money, the one that you bought. And the model can change depending on what the algo does. It could be 50 points, 40 points, 20, 30. It just depends. But let's look here. All is well, everything's green. And look at this, it turns profitable with 29 days left. Amazing, the dragonfly. How did the condor look with 29 days left? It was still actually negative. It was losing a little bit of money with 29 days left. So you can see the dramatic difference sometimes between a condor and a dragonfly. Dragonfly has a completely different risk reward profile, different characteristic, can be much more robust when it comes, when the market's moving closer to the sold calls or sold puts, give you early exit opportunities. So we love the dragonfly. It's not to say we don't do condors as well, but I wanted to make sure you saw how the dragonfly worked on the simulator. And then here you go. Same thing on the dashboard. Here's today's dragonfly, November into month. Here's what it looks like. And look at this, the 37.30 call, the one you buy, is 50 points closer to the money compared to the ones that you sell. And the same structure on the puts. So that's what today's dragonfly looks like. And if you wanted to place that order, you would just do the same thing. You could just change the quantity, always defaults to a sell. And of course, you can see the cash required is different. A little bit more expensive with a dragonfly, of course, to place. Let me show you. $4,500 compared to, I think the condor we looked at was a little bit less than $1,000. So that's because you're selling 4 puts and 4 calls. So you just have more exposure, and it's just that simple. So you want 2, and go ahead and place that order. And there it is, selling 2 at that price. I wanted to show you this as well. You go to the My Account section, go to Settings, and this is how you automate it. You just click this box, activate the Risk Manager, activate the Profit Directive, and you save those settings. And that's how easy it is to automate those trades so that whenever it turns blue or red, they get closed out for you. And let's take a look here at the open positions. You can see at a glance on one page how your open trades are doing. All right. Now on this page, you can see 12 open positions, and it gives you a summary here of the sold positions and the bought positions. So you can definitely buy options too, but those are a lower probability outcome. But we sometimes do that when we think it makes sense. And if you would like to take a look at any one particular trade, I'm just going to click on it. And you scroll down, you can see there's the trade. So we placed it on September 29, and here's the performance so far. It's turning profitable now because of theta decay. And you'll notice a lot of these some are green, some are red, and that's pretty typical when you place a condor or a dragonfly. In the first few days in particular, it takes time for theta decay to work. So it's going to take time for these trades to mature. That's just the idea of selling premium. Now, close positions. And once again, don't make too much of the performance one way or another. Just a demo account I use for these presentations. You saw I'm just picking theta trades, placing them, and that's about as much thought as I put into it. But you can see here, total of 20 trades on the page, 15 winners, 5 losers. Total profits here. The short options, there were 14. So we sold 14 spreads, 11 were winners, 3 were losers. That's the net result. And we actually bought a total of 6 spreads, 4 winners, 2 losers, and there's your total result. And same thing again, if you want to look at any one trade, you just click on it and you can see the history just by scrolling down. Oh yeah, that was a long put spread. And you can see Theta Trader closed that out. See the different colors there as well when you have a profitable spread. So going back to the dashboard real quick, I will summarize everything here on the one page. You can see all your open short positions on the dashboard. You can see all your open bought positions. If you want to see what's happening on any particular trade, you just click on it directly from the dashboard. So you don't have to go to these screens right away. You can do everything from the dashboard if you like. And let me jump back over here to the My Account. You'll see Trade Scope. We have proprietary research as well. We do this technical analysis every day with a market outlook. We also do our daily trading summary. This is proprietary to us, only available through us. You'll see the European, Asian, US market activity, looking ahead as to what traders are looking for, support resistance zones. And I would also point out, we have videos here on the tutorials for Theta Trader, all videos here, and education. If you need a refresher on anything, it's all available right here. And then let me scroll back to the dashboard. I want to point out a couple other things, and then I want to show you the best feature of all. Take you 1 minute. Give me 1 more minute, and I'll show you the best feature of all. I want to point out that bullish strategies as well. Sometimes we do something called a bull hedge, and it's simply well, I'll show you what it is. You buy a call spread above the market, and to pay for it, you sell an out of the money put spread. So we can do trades like that, and Theta Trader can manage those for you as well. You can simply buy calls or buy call spreads. Same thing with being bearish. So you have these strategies available to you as well. You don't only have to do dragonflies and condors, but we like to think of the dragonfly as kind of our bread and butter, those higher probability outcomes. Now I want to jump over and one more thing here in the help file. People always ask about this, so I thought I'd show you. Here's how the RTI works in terms of the colors and the coding and what it means. Here is more definitions of all the spreads we're using. And also I mentioned those video tutorials. So I just wanted to mention there's a great help file as well. All right, very good. Now let me show you, I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to show you the best feature of all. So give me 1 moment here to catch up. Okay, just a moment, folks. Let me just catch up here. The screen's got a bit of a lag. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, Lucy and Ethel couldn't handle it. A lot to take in at once. So hopefully you don't feel like that. I think there's a lot of great information there. I know we have to go quickly, but it's very simple as well at its core level here. So let's make it even easier. How about trade alerts? So Theta Trader includes trade alerts, and these are not just the regular trade alerts that you have seen or might be using. These are one-touch alerts. You receive your alert on your smartphone or device, and all you do is touch accept or reject on the screen. That's all you have to do. You don't have to get a text and transpose it into a third-party platform or log into something else and try to copy an order. These are live, meaning they're integrated with your account. So every alert you receive is integrated. You touch accept, the order's placed, or touch reject, and that's all you have to do. And then you saw how the RTI in Theta Trader will then automatically track and manage that position for you if that's what you would like. So when it turns blue, you get out. If it turns red, you get out. And that's one thing I should have noted too is we always suggest when you're trading dragonflies and condors, getting out before expiration. We do not like to hold trades until expiration. So that's why we like to automate that process. So let's look at a demo, little video here of a typical alert. You receive a text and you click, you just touch the link. So you'll see the headline for the trade. You'll see the graph. I want to point out the account number, the premium collected, cash required, and look at the selling 10 condors. It's pre-sized to your account. You don't even have to do anything. It's already got the correct size for you. And look at the, whoa, excuse me, folks. We'll look at it one more time. It gives you all the details, days till expiration, targeted annualized numbers, current price, and that's it. So that's it, folks. That is the trade alert. How great was that? You don't have to do anything. We just feed it to you and you just touch accept if you like it. If not, reject. So here we go. Here's the amazing offer. I think it's been something valuable and new that you've never seen, obviously. That's what new would mean. And we've got the tools and the solution that you probably been looking for but didn't know existed. So I think we're probably ready to show you what we can offer and that you're ready to take action and become a VIP member, something we haven't done until just this few months ago, actually. So you get AV systems. You saw the automated futures trading. You saw that platform, how powerful it was, and how actually a lot of fun it is to use. Remember to summarize, 20 years of R&D, dozens of system designers, developers, and was it 1,800, about 1,800 systems on the platform right now across US and global markets and multiple sectors. All right. And remember, there's that switch. You just turn it on and off. That's all you have to do. Completely transparent. You saw how we dug into the trades. You can see where the market is trading, where the current system is long or short from. You get to see any stops in place or any profit-taking orders, you name it. And if you don't want to be in a system anymore, you just deactivate it. That's it. You turn it off. And everything else is automated. You have intraday or swing systems. You can review all the historical performance and live performance. So we make it really easy with AV systems, stock indices, currencies, financials, metals, energies, grains, you name it. So if you want to build just one trading algo, ask us how we know. It's not cheap, folks. Just one system, one algorithm for one programmer. You're talking about $10,000. But remember, you have 1,800 systems on that platform. You also get what we call our A list. So you'll want to know what our top picks are. So here's an example of recently working with some clients and looking at some systems, how we allocate across sectors and working with clients and choosing different systems based on certain criteria. So those are our top picks on the A list. Yearly value for that research, $2,952. So remember, you get AV systems worth over $10,800. I mean, way beyond that. And the A list, that's our proprietary research, value of over $13,700. You also get Theta Trader. So remember, part of the VIP membership, AV Systems and Theta Trader, you saw that algo-driven option solution, the pre-built option spreads, simple and effective trade selection. How about the trade tracking? This is all you do. You just glance at your dashboard and the RTI will tell you everything you need to know. Compare that to this. This is what it looks like at a typical brokerage firm and their statement. And that's, you know what, since I've been in the business 29 years, you're using the same software. So it's impossible. You cannot trade complex option spreads unless you're doing something like this, and that's proprietary. And that's what we've done. That was the big catalyst behind creating and developing Theta Trader, so you don't have to put up with this nonsense. So remember, the RTI automatically exits those trades. So it's kind of like autopilot having non-emotional trading. The color coding here, you can see how it works, your open positions, sold positions, bought positions. Everything can be automated. Check that box. And that's all you need to do. And then the trade simulator, we ran through a few. Those are a lot of fun. You can go back in time. You can test any strategy that you would like, just using these buttons here to go backwards and forwards on the chart. A lot of fun, a powerful tool. So remember, Theta Trades, the RTI, the trade simulator, that software worth over $3,500, absolutely. And then the trade alerts. When have you ever seen trade alerts integrated with your account? I don't think I've ever seen it, and that's why we created this. These are live and integrated. You just touch accept and walk away. And then the RTI can automatically manage that trade for you. Yearly value, at least $4,400. And I think that is being conservative because I know people spend a fortune on trade alert services. I hear about it, I talk to people, and you might be one of them. So Theta Trader software worth $3,588, including the alerts worth over $4,400, an $8,000 value. So to summarize with the VIP, and I'm going to dig into something else here right after this. You're going to want to make sure you see the some of the FAQs. VIP membership means AV system software, Theta Trader software, including the trade alerts, a value of over $21,800. And here's the best part, because you're thinking, I love all of it, I want to do it, but maybe I might need some help along the way. Okay, you get a private coach. The VIP is really VIP. You get a private coach with one-on-one training, a Series 3 licensed and experienced broker, 1-hour screen sharing sessions. You can cover topics of your choosing, but some of the more popular elements to cover you can see here: system selection, data trade selection, advanced strategies, you name it, diversifying among systems, so on and so forth. So you have a co-pilot help you get onboarded and work with you along the way. Then you develop a relationship with someone who's experienced and licensed, discussed trade history, you name it. That really, $7,500 for private coaching, that's way undervalued. I see people selling basically education, which is fine, but they're selling stuff for $25,000. But we're telling you, we include that with your VIP membership. So remember, AV system software, Theta Trader software, the trade alerts, and the trading coach, value of over $29,000. Absolutely. I know it's a little corny, but here's that still want more line. But wait, there's more. Remember the bonus and the research we talked about that's proprietary to us, trade scope and the commentary. That's part of your VIP membership, a value of over $2,900. And then of course we throw on those online tutorials. We want you to have all that information and those videos we just briefly reviewed. So once again, AV systems, software, Theta Trader, trade alerts, and the trading coach, and the research, your VIP membership, a value of over $32,000. How about this? 50% off? Nope, we're not even going to do that. That wouldn't be good enough. So remember this here. We think it's the one thing that'll work for you, save you time, save you money, lower your stress and aggravation levels. Absolutely. This guy says, you betcha. So others have paid tens of thousands for algo systems and options trading and trade alerts. Ask me how I know. I've been a consumer as well. And I talk to people every week and they tell me, and they've told me they've spent, guy out of Texas was saying he spent 25,000 more than once on trading systems. But anyway, so with a VIP offer, AV systems and Theta Trader with your trading coach, everything you need, $1,997. And in fact, we used to offer this Theta Trader alone at that price. But since we packaged the VIP offer with AV systems and the trading coach, we're going to just kind of wipe that whole thing away. We're going to give you a big discount before Sunday night, one payment of $797 to become a VIP member. To reiterate, one-time payment. You pay once, you're now a VIP member, and that's a lifetime membership, $797. There's the link, cf.altivest.com/VIP. Here's our phone number. You're welcome to call us as well. Quite frankly, people just use the link, and that's all they do. And remember, you have a 30-day guarantee, so there's really no excuse. And $797 guaranteed 30-day, and we'll gladly refund that for some reason it doesn't work for you. And remember here, quantities really are limited. It's not just a line. It is a boutique style of service, a one-on-one type of service. And actually, you know what? If it looks like, oh boy, I'm sorry, folks. I should have had my phone on voicemail. I don't. So give me a moment to, once we're done here, you can give a call. That's my direct number there. And I'm seeing several calls coming in. So thanks for calling in. And I will be sure to get back to you after the webinar. But with that said, oh, I skipped a trade page. Here's, I'm sorry, the FAQs. Can I trade stock options? No, we do options on E-mini stock index futures. So we're doing futures options. So that's what we're trading, E-mini, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and Russell 2000. Now, how about this, tax efficiency? Yes, you can lower your tax rate by over 10%. How? Because what we do is tax efficient. These are tax advantage 1256 contracts, blended, meaning 60% are taxed at the long-term rate, which is lower, 60% and 40% of the gains taxed at the shorter-term rate. So what does that mean? That blended rate is 10.2% points lower. So here's how that works. If you're trading stocks, $100,000, 20% return, you're going to pay $7,400 in tax. That's 12.6% rate of return. If you're trading futures and futures options, which is what we do, you're trading the correct vehicle, because now your rate of return jumps to 14.64%, a tax savings of over $2,000, just because you're trading in a different instrument, a different space, or a different environment. And there's no more itemizing, none of that nonsense. So IRA, people always ask, yes, you can do a self-directed IRA. Forbes says there are benefits to alternative assets in a self-directed IRA. Diversify your portfolio by adding investments with a low correlation to stocks and bonds. May help retirement investors control volatility and limit downside. So you noticed how in the AV systems, those systems would often have performance completely disconnected from what's happening in the traditional asset class world. How about this? The E-mini S&P 500 futures. It's a huge market. People always ask. So the E-mini S&P 500, just that one market, outtrades all ETFs around the world by over 2.5 times. So what does that look like? Compared to the SPY, it's almost 10 times greater in average daily dollar volume. So you think about the SPY and everyone's trading the stocks and the SPY and this and that. That's nonsense. The action is in the E-mini S&P 500. It's even bigger than all ETFs around the world, 2.5 times greater. So this is the space to be, folks. So that's why we trade the E-mini S&P 500. They're liquid, they're efficient, they're cost effective. Some of the more advantages: deep liquidity, 630,000 average daily volume. I think it's way beyond that now. I can't get the latest figures, but you get the idea. Densely packed strikes, 100 annual expirations, granularity and coverage. So that's part of what I talked about with dragonflies. Go try to place a dragonfly on a typical stock. It's just not going to work. You can't build that structure. The strikes that you need will not be available. There's just not that depth and that liquidity that you need. Maybe a few stocks might have it, maybe, but even so, it doesn't work the same way. Trust me, we know. You can track just one or two markets, not thousands. Margin use is efficient, and there's a clear cost structure trading ES options. It's not hidden and not opaque. How about this? Superior execution. They offer a cost savings of $4 to $15 per contract. Tighter spreads, bid offer spreads. That's what we're talking about. No hidden cost on these E-mini options. These are not securities. And you trade all these options at the CME Group. Globex is the electronic exchange for all large or small orders, all treated equally. There's no payment for order flow. None of that nonsense like you might have with stocks. And you're thinking, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, here, hidden cost to stock trading. Robinhood makes millions selling out millennial customers to high-frequency traders. They make millions in cash income by selling customer orders to the high-frequency trading meat grinder. These high-frequency traders are not charities, and the only reason they would pay Robinhood tens to hundreds of millions of dollars is that they can exploit the retail customers. Article from Seeking Alpha. Here's MarketWatch says, Robinhood making money off day trading millennials. Well, that's the point. It's Tinder, but for money. And of course, I'm not saying companies shouldn't be making money, but what I'm really saying is what this is saying here. There's no free lunch. It's not free. This says there's no such thing as a free lunch. These retail stock brokerages are not charities. They make up lost commission revenue in other ways, buried down in the guts of their workflow processes where few people notice. And so when you're trading with us, everything is clear and transparent. That's really the point I'm getting at. And really, nothing of value is truly ever free. And we completely agree with this article here from Barron. So all this zero commission trading stuff, it's just kind of a bait and switch. It's for marketing. That's all it really is. So that leads the question, what are the commission rates with us? So our commission rates are competitive. You're trading with a Theta trader. Our rate is 5.25 round turn, all in on those E-minis. So remember, here's a sample I just took from a big box brokerage. They say that their rate on futures options is 2.25, but that's per contract. And then you have to look at this, plus exchange and regulatory fees. And guess what? You add all that up and it's more than what we charge. So our rates are very competitive. That's really the point I'm getting at. And everything is net, by the way. Everything in Theta Trader is net of all trading cost. So, and everyone's performance is different because everyone places trades differently, just like you would with any other brokerage. Now, what size of account for the VIP? We suggest $50,000 to $100,000, split equally between Theta Trader and AV Systems. And how about this? People ask, well, what if I have more? Well, yes, if you have $100,000, we'll gladly refund that membership fee. So it becomes free, no cost if you have $100,000 or more. And I'm getting some questions, and we're going to get to those in just a second. And here's another thing people ask. They want to use systems and they want to use Theta Trader, but they don't need to talk to anybody, and that's fine. You can do what we call our Pro membership. So if you're self-reliant, you can get started with us and use our technology and our software, and you're more than welcome to. And that's a free membership, but you don't have access to a trading coach. So there's the link for that as well. Trading account types, IRA, we talked about that, individual, joint, corporate, LLC, trust, you name it, all the above. And why alternatives, to wrap it up, and I'll get to some questions. Well, they may improve diversification and lower portfolio risk and improve the risk and return profile of your portfolio, may help grow an investor's total return. And just to kind of wrap it up, a few final thoughts. Election year, there's a great chart I saw a while back, thought I'd throw it in here. So you can see the blue line is the election year. So you can see into October, there's a seasonality for into late October for a decline, and then you get this large rally. Kind of interesting. So pretty choppy. This is probably more of an unusual election year than ever. So I don't know what to make of it, but, and then this is interesting from Hedgeye. The global economy. This is fascinating. Follow me on this. Here are the FANG stocks. Look at the total market cap. Bigger than the entire market of the UK, of Germany, or of the EU banks, or even just the Apple and Amazon together. And look at this, even just Apple alone is bigger than the economies of these major countries and major economies in the world. So, you know, there's a lot of what they call concentration risk in just a handful of stocks, creating, I don't know what it's creating, but it's not normal, folks. The top 5 mega caps is a percentage of the S&P 500. Over 25% of the entire S&P 500 is just 5 stocks. Same kind of thing here with just the top 5 mega caps and the bottom 394 stocks. So anyway, total market cap to GDP, great chart here. And you can see we're up at record highs. So the market is pretty highly valued. And I think a big reason for that, obviously, is what we just saw, just really in a handful of stocks. I think you strip out those FANG stocks, you look at the S&P for the year, I think it's flat, actually. So with that said, I don't know, is the Fed blowing bubbles? Probably so. Their monetary policy, but I guess they feel like they're backed into a corner. Something to be aware of. 10-year time horizon, don't think about owning stocks unless you're willing to buy and hold for 10 years. Maybe there's some truth to that. CBO, Wall Street Journal, says that they just downgraded the long-term economic growth projections for the next 30 years. That makes sense. But meanwhile, a lot of us are still long delusions, wishful thinking, and FOMO, so fear of missing out. So the point of all that is to say we like alternatives. That's the space we're in. We think an allocation to alternative investments makes a lot of sense. Remember, they're non-correlated to what's happening in the traditional investment world called absolute return. So here's portfolio 1, 2, and 3. We like number 3, that alternative slice. We think we could be a big part of that for you. So you've seen what that VIP membership is all about, with automated systems and options trading, as well as your private coach. So here's the VIP membership. You get AV systems, you get Theta Trader with the trade alerts, and your personal coach. That's all included as your VIP membership. Same thing with the pro membership. It's the same thing, but you don't have access to that coach. So that's the difference there. So we'd like to invite you to be part of our winning team. If you're serious about doing this, we'd love to have a chat with you, or you're welcome to join us right away. Just fill out that form. Remember, that discount does expire Sunday night, and also there's a 30-day guarantee. So really, you have no excuse on that. And we're getting a lot of questions. I see them piling up. I think I've answered a lot of them along the way, but let me just get through here. Okay. Let's see here. People are talking about the AV systems licensing. It's real simple. You like a system and all you do is click on it and you buy the license. That's all you do. And if you don't want to trade it anymore, you just you deactivate it, and it's just that simple. And it's all prorated too. And let's see here, margin requirements. The day trading systems are using day trading margins. Yes, that's correct. And Yep, silver and gold systems, absolutely. Okay, and let's see here. All right. Someone else, well, looks like someone had to, let's see here. Someone says they're looking for higher probability outcomes, so then you'd want to look at the Theta Trader condors and dragonflies. That's what you would want to look at. And you'd want to look at the ES primarily. The NASDAQ is fine, but it's going to be more volatile. Same with the Russell. Okay. Yep, we're mostly trading the ES or the E-mini S&P 500, as well as NASDAQ and Russell 2000, correct? And AB systems will automatically place a stop order or a profit-taking order for you. That's the whole point of the automation, of course. And if you do one dragonfly, that means you're selling 4 calls and 4 puts. And if you're doing one condor, that's 1 call and 1 put that you're selling. And someone asked about trading. Well, we are the brokerage firm, so you would open your account with us. It's our technology, and then you would be trading through us. And no, we are not trading ETF. We are trading futures options. And I think we talked about the cost. Yep, we're only doing futures and futures options. And yes, let's see here. You will have a link to the recording. Unfortunately, another question, we are not able to trade with Canadians. I wish it were. We get calls all the time. If you have same thing if you're in the EU, if you have a legal residence in the US, then you can do so. And yes, so we talked about trade alerts, and we work with, absolutely, you can have an IRA. You can work through, we use Midland as a custodian. So they're very good at this. And yes, you would have an account with AltaVest. That's correct. And someone asked about Midland. That's correct. Midland is the one group. We love Midland. We work a lot with Midland. And we're using E-minis, not micros. Not enough depth yet in the micros, so we're using the E-minis. And let's see here. Systems track records, yeah, they're all available on AV Systems. And if you want to look at Theta Trader, you would just go back in time on the trade simulator. That's how you would look at how the trades have performed in the past. And someone asks account size. Well, VIP, if you do 100,000 or more, you get that membership fee rebated to you. But you don't have to, of course. I'd suggest 50,000 is probably a minimum to be able to trade Theta Trader and AV Systems together. Okay, someone's asking for the web address in the control panel. Ah, okay. All right. And yeah, we're trading through our clearing firm out of Chicago. That's RJ O'Brien. So they maintain custody of the funds. So as the brokerage, we do not maintain custody of your funds. RJ O'Brien's been around for over 100 years. And all right, yep, replay will go out. And no, you do not have to have 100,000. And if you're non-USA, it just depends where you live. We have clients in many places. We can't have Canadians, unfortunately. Most of the EU. We do have a lot of clients in Australia, for example. That works, and the UK. All right. Yeah, someone asked about UK. Absolutely. So that works. All right. And yeah, we are the brokerage firm, so you can't use, E-Trade or Thinkorswim or some other big box brokerage and use our technology. It's our technology that we develop for us as a brokerage firm. And let's see here. Yeah, if you have 100,000 or more, you do not have to pay the $7.97 membership fee. That's correct. And I wish we could take Canadians. It's out of our hands. It has to do with really Canadian regulations. They probably a little bit protectionist is my guess. They want to keep money in Canada. All right. And sure, you can trade futures contracts with us. Absolutely. All right, very good. And let me go ahead and see if I can't get that in here. Just get that link for you. Okay. All right, so I think that's it. And thanks for all the questions. That was a lot of activity there. So hope you enjoyed the time here and found it valuable. Glad to be here. And once again, you can certainly reach out to us and send us an email or just go right to our link and sign up if you want to get started. And once again, if you've determined later on for some reason it's not for you, that's fine. We're not, twisting anyone's arm to be a client. So there's that 30-day guarantee, and that'll be no trouble at all. So with that said, I will go ahead and wrap it up. I think a lot of the questions I've already answered, and there you go. Oh yeah, someone asked about the um, other link as well. Oop, just a second. All right, so there you go. Yeah, I'll show you that link real quick here. It's AV Pro. So I'll put that in the link there. All right, so very good. We're looking forward to hearing from you, and we shall hear from you shortly. Great. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.